Salutations friends, hope you're all doing well. As you may know, as a consistent viewer, my life is incredibly boring, almost nothing happens, but this story time is about the one night my life wasn't boring. As a matter of fact, it was the complete opposite. I was on the phone with my girlfriend at the time, watching a movie with her. We were actually watching, I think it was Cars 2 or 3, it was one of the two. And that's kind of where this whole thing kicks off. As I was watching the movie, I overheard my uncle come inside and talk about how somebody was following him and pretty much scouting out the house. Now, obviously hearing this, my paranoia set in and I could no longer watch the movie. I was freaking the fuck out. I went out into the kitchen, because that's where everybody was, and we kind of talked about it, and yeah, everything that I heard was pretty much exactly what was going down. Why they were after him to this day, I have no idea, but I do know that myself and everybody else in the house was pretty much caught in the crossfire of it, because we knew that there were people outside watching the place, waiting for him to come back out. Or at least that's what we were assuming they were waiting for, because what other reason would they be outside the house since they were following him? Now, I was in the kitchen still. I couldn't go back in the room. I couldn't get back on the phone, because like I said, I was scared fucking shitless. I didn't really know what to do. It was super unexpected, and it was like, what, 9 or 10 o'clock at night, so it wasn't like early in the day. He kept looking out the window. It was like, yeah, they're there. Somebody kept passing by on a bike, cars were pulling up and shit like that. It was getting wild. We ended up turning off all the lights just in case they were trying to look inside, and as time went by, we still saw that they were out there. Well, I guess I'm not gonna say we, because my uncle was the only one looking. I was too much of a pussy to go by the window. We all armed ourselves with knives and just kind of chilled to wait to see what was gonna happen. And my uncle really didn't want to be cooped up in the house. He kept saying how he wanted to go out there and talk to them or whatever. And obviously that's a really fucking bad idea. After some time, as he was looking out the window, he didn't see them anymore, so I ended up going into my cousin's room. We were just kind of talking and watching YouTube, trying to kind of keep our minds off of everything, considering how scary the situation was. I hopped on a game, and I started talking to my girlfriend on there. She was trying to help me out, try to make me feel better and see what was going on, so I really do appreciate that from her. And we ended up going back out into the kitchen a while after that because my uncle wanted to go outside. Now, I should probably mention that the door was barricaded, so he kind of had to undo the barricade to go outside. And again, don't do that if you're in this situation. That's so fucking dumb. You're putting yourself and other people in danger. So he used the backyard to walk around, and he went next door to go hang out with the neighbors and smoke and shit, I guess just to get his mind off of it, which is really scary because he was sitting on the porch. And everybody knows a lot of bad shit can happen on a porch. A while went by, and I kept checking out the window to make sure that he was good and everybody else on the porch was good. And it was fine. I started to kind of let up a tiny bit, and then everything came crashing down when he called me, and he was saying another fucking problem just pulled up, and people pulled up in the car. So, yeah, that was pretty fucked. I was losing my mind. He said he was gonna come back, and to only open the door if it's him. And then he hung up. Obviously that scared the shit out of me because it made me think, okay, are they coming to the door? Like, what the fuck's happening? So he came inside. I found him when he walked up towards the door. I let him in. We barricaded again. And I was scared shitless because at this point, like I was saying, they had left, but they came fucking back. Now, if memory serves me right, when he was outside, he explained to me that the car pulled up, and then she, who was one of the neighbors, started walking up to the car instead of him, and then they drove off. I don't know why that happened. I don't know why they didn't get out. I don't know what was going on there. But, yeah, so they left, and that's when he came back, if I remember correctly. Now, I'm pretty sure at this point, this was the last time that they showed up. I didn't see them again. He didn't see them again. Again, if memory serves me right, this did happen a while ago. And, at that point, my anxiety was at an all-time high. I had the knife with me still. I wanted to go to sleep, but I knew that I couldn't. I was just laying in bed with the door locked, knife in hand, trying to listen to music and forget about things. Then, I got a knock on my door. Not the door of the house, but the door of my room. Scared me shitless. I didn't know what the fuck to expect. I was figuring it was my uncle, but still, when you're in a panic state like that, you think a lot of crazy shit. I open it up, knife in hand, and it's him. He's chilling. I don't remember what he said, but he said something to me. Then he went to the bathroom, probably to take a shower or something. But that entire night was quiet. I didn't watch anything on the TV. I didn't, finish the movie or anything like that. And I just kind of laid there, looking up at the ceiling, freaking the fuck out. Hours went by. I could not sleep. I ended up sleeping eventually, but that was only when I saw the sun come up. I wasn't sleeping at all while it was still dark out, because I feel like, people are less likely to do crazy shit in the sunlight. So I felt a little more safe because of that, and then I finally was able to fall asleep. But I left the next morning because I was too scared to stay there another night. Something to note though is that I had no idea and still have no idea what their intentions were. I don't know if they were following him because they just saw he was alone at night, or if it was premeditated, like they were specifically looking for him, or somebody was setting him up in some way. I have no idea. But it's really wild to think that there's so many different reasons that this could have happened. Anyway, that's pretty much where the story ends. I leave. I go back to my house. I was staying with a family member, and then everything was fine from there. It took me a while to go back, but I eventually did, and it's been all right ever since. I'm sure there were some things that I left out, but not so big of a deal to give you guys the basic story beats. But I hope you guys have a good night, and yeah, goodbye.